Hello, and welcome to New Toy Tuesday, where we endeavor to find the best cat toys on the internet. Today, we are testing out our first ever concealed motion toy. Here are your hosts. We have Gandalf, Dave, their mother Natia, and I, of course, am Kat. Now, historically speaking, electronic cat toys have pretty much always disappointed me, but this one had great reviews and we've never tried anything quite like it, so we're gonna give it a chance. This is called the 3-in-1 hide-and-seek butterfly cat toy, although online it shows up like this. Not a great name. Could be a Fall Out Boy song title though. It was $29.98 on Amazon, and it's from Potaroma, which, and I didn't know this when I ordered it, but Potaroma is the same brand that makes these fun crinkle toys that I bought in June and that my cats went absolutely mad for. So I've got high hopes for this one. Oh, Dave, I think we actually, no, I think we're gonna need that, bud. I think I'm gonna need that. I think I might need that, buddy. Sorry. Setting up cat toys with cats present can be challenging, so I'm gonna hide the attachments while we put this together. The great thing about concealed motion toys is that they tell you exactly what they're about. They conceal motion. Incredible. And here we can begin to see the mechanism by which this works. Well, actually, there are two mechanisms. The thing we're watching right now is going to be the hide and seek feature. That's the concealed motion part. And then there's also going to be a spinning butterfly toy that's gonna go on top. One thing that made me want to try this toy in particular is the fact that the motion is programmed to be irregular, as opposed to just moving consistently in a circle. For cat enrichment, simulating those uncertain or sporadic movements is key, so nice. Those buttons on top allow you to toggle between a few different modes and settings, which we will talk about in a bit. Clearly, we have already generated substantial intrigue, so I think that that's a good sign. Also, this toy is rechargeable and comes with a charging cable, although not a wall adapter. I don't know why things don't come with wall adapters anymore. I've noticed that lately and it's odd. Anyway, we're gonna screw in this wand thing here, and then we're gonna start with the feather attachment. This also comes with a little fish as well, and that's the attachment that Dave tried to run off with. Once again, the cats are already interested. I take that as a great sign. To put on the cover part, you switch the lock ring to the unlock symbol, take it off, place the cover on, and then put that ring back on and lock it. The butterfly bit goes on top, and there we have it. That's all it takes as far as setup is concerned. Pretty easy, all things considered. All right, let's give it a whirl, both figuratively and literally. We are going to start with the hide and seek mode first. The cats appear to be a little bit bamboozled, but that's okay. We'll give them time. While they're figuring this out, let's talk about why cat enrichment is so important. Enrichment is entertaining for cats, to be sure, but that's really just the tip of the iceberg as to why it's so necessary. Mental stimulation and physical exercise are two huge benefits of enrichment, especially if your cats are indoor cats like ours are. Toys that mimic prey movement allow cats to engage in all those great natural cat behaviors like stalking, pouncing, chasing, and hunting, and all of that is really, really good for their psychological health. Speaking of psychological health, enrichment can help reduce stress, boredom, and it can even help with anxiety. There are so many benefits to it, and I could honestly talk about cat enrichment all day long, but the main takeaway is that enrichment is something that every cat needs for both their physical and their mental health, and it's absolutely critical to incorporate it into their routine. They're kind of starting to understand it. I'm gonna stop talking and cut the music for a sec so that you guys can hear the noise it makes. That's a lot quieter than I expected. I absolutely love that all three of my cats are laser focused on it. They are very engaged, and I really hope that lasts. Natia is clearly interested in the butterfly, so we're gonna turn off the wand part for now and turn on that butterfly top part. I'll cut the music again so that you can hear the noise that this part makes. Once again, super reasonable. Of course, a toy like this is going to make some noise, but volume-wise, I feel like this is pretty tame. We actually did have a toy like this once upon a time that was like just the butterfly part attached to a base. It wasn't anything crazy, it just moved in a circle. Gandalf got bored of it pretty quickly, but Dave, oh my god, Dave loved it. I think because it was the only toy that he could reliably catch. The butterfly is a hit with Natia today, clearly, but it looks like Dave and Gandalf are still more interested in what's underneath. We do want to keep them all entertained, if possible, so we're going to try the alternating feature, which is going to do 50 seconds of the wand, followed by 50 seconds of the butterfly, and then it'll just keep switching back and forth. So it starts with the wand, stays there for a bit, and then it automatically goes to the butterfly. Dave seems to be offended by the butterfly, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Alright, so this toy has 3 different modes. Number 1 is hide and seek, number 2 is the butterfly, or number 3 is both of those, alternating. The other setting that you can control is the mode/speed, I guess? I'll show it to you. Setting 1 is slow speed. Here it is. This is setting 2, which is fast speed. And then setting 3, this one, is called random speed. I took the cover off so you could see it a little bit better, but you can also just use the toy without the cover if you want to. Clearly that's not quite as exciting for Gandalf, but that is an option that you have. I gave the cats a break for a few hours, and now we're gonna try the fish attachment. Obviously, some wear and tear is gonna happen to these attachments eventually, just like with any normal cat toy, and something I really appreciate about this toy and about this brand is that you can buy replacement under the cover refills and butterfly refills as well. Nothing is more frustrating to me than when you buy a cat toy or a robot vacuum or really anything and then like one minor thing breaks or wears out and renders the whole thing useless. It drives me crazy and it's so wasteful, so I'm glad we can avoid that here. Anyway, looks like the fish is a winner as well. You know, I kind of do a rudimentary version of this with Natia, which involves putting a whole bunch of newspapers out on the floor and then wiggling a cat wand around underneath those newspapers. So, if you don't want to spend $30 on this Potaroma 3-in-1 hide-and-seek butterfly toy, there is a cost-effective alternative, although it does create a bit of a mess. Alright, so let's talk about it. This is only week 2 of New Toy Tuesdays, so I don't have a good rating or scoring system just yet, but I feel like that'll just kind of develop with time, so we are gonna wing it once again. First up, enrichment value. 5 stars. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm generally not a big fan of electronic cat toys. Gandalf in particular gets bored of those types of toys extremely quickly, and I think it's usually the repetitive motion that causes her to lose interest. She just kinda figures it out, and then once she does, she is over it. The fact that this toy actually simulates the randomness of prey movement is awesome, and I think that's what's responsible for holding Gandalf's focus. There are a lot of so-called enrichment toys out there that I feel like maybe shouldn't quite call themselves enrichment toys, but this feels like something that solidly falls into the true enrichment category, and I love that. Utility for multi-cat households. 4 stars. It is rare that we find a toy that all 3 of our cats actually love, let alone one that can engage all 3 of them simultaneously. Having the butterfly component in addition to the under the cover component is very clever, and it's a great way to involve more than one cat at a time. Although, I mean, even when we were just doing the under the cover feature, they were all super interested. I think something that could make this even better would be maybe like a more rapid fire setting for switching between the toys. I think that that could potentially make that particular setting just a little bit more effective. Quality. Tentative 4 stars. I obviously cannot yet say how well this is going to hold up in the long run, but it does seem well made. The fact that you actually had to screw in the wand attachment and like really fasten it shows me that durability is indeed the goal. Obviously, some wear and tear is going to happen. We talked about the replacement toys, and from what I've seen so far, I feel good about the quality of this. Utility for humans. 5 stars. I can imagine this being very useful for a lot of different people. If you have some motor limitations, or if you're sick, or recovering from surgery, or super busy, or something like that, this is a fabulous way to ensure that your cats are still getting the enrichment that they need without having to compromise yourself. Even for us, and I mean, Jackson and I both work from home and play with our cats constantly, but even for us, I am delighted to have this as a supplement to our one-on-one playtime with the cats. And it's pretty hands-off too. It'll stop running if it's not engaged with for 5 minutes, but it won't actually turn off, and your cat can then reactivate it just by touching it again. It will turn off after 2 hours of inaction, though, which is good because you don't just want it to die. I genuinely like this a lot. I always feel a little bit weird spending more than like $15 on a cat toy, given how much they like stuff like string and boxes. But I will say, I definitely feel like I got my money's worth here, and I'm very happy that I feel like I can recommend it. I'm linking this toy in the description of this video, and let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations for a cat toy that you love and think I should try. Thanks for being here, guys, and I'll see you next week.